The October 13th, 2015 regular meeting of the Mentor Exempted Village Board of Education is called to order. This meeting is being held in accordance with Section 3313.15 of the Ohio Revised Code. Mr. Wilson, will you please call the roll?
Mrs. Briner?
Here.
Ms. Jesling?
Present.
Ms. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Shaw? Recorded absent. Mr. Tuttle?
Here. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like to welcome everyone to the October 13th, 2015 regular meeting of the Mentor Exempted Village Board of Education. Prior to this evening, each board member has received, for their review and consideration, the agenda and the materials associated with each agenda item for the board's approval via the district's paperless Board of Education agenda system, Board Docs. The public can access the agenda through the school district's website. The agenda is available through the district's website for public viewing the Sunday prior to the board meeting. Board members have the opportunity to call the superintendent and chief financial officer for information concerning agenda items and to request, if needed, additional information. There are two places on the agenda when the board entertains comments from the community. The first of the hearing of the public is dedicated to those who wish to address the board on agenda items only. The second hearing of the public is dedicated to those who wish to address the board on any subject, whether it is an item on the agenda or another issue. When addressing the board, please state your name. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Please address your questions to the president. This meeting is being videotaped and will be shown on our YouTube channel, Cardinal TV, Mentor, Ohio. Please place your mobile telephones on silent mode during the meeting. First on approval of minutes.
Yes.
So moved. Second.
Mary. Please call the roll, Mr. Wilson.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes. Next on the agenda, hearing of the public on agenda items only. Anyone? Seeing none. Next on the agenda, superintendent's reports and recommendations. Mr. Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Tuttle. Good evening, Mr. President and members of the board. I have the following recommendations listed under the consent agenda, and I recommend approval of consent agenda items 5A1 through 5A6.
So moved. Second.
Please call the roll, Mr. Wilson.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes. Before you go on, I'd like to say a special thanks to the Rice Elementary School PTA and the very generous amount of money that they've contributed to establish the Dale R. Rice Elementary School PTA Scholarship Fund.
We're going to do that in just a few minutes.
Okay.
So,
They brought the check.
Yeah, I just think doing that.
Mr. President, members of the board, next we are pleased tonight to recognize many of our students. We start with our gold medal winners from the 2015 National Skills USA competition. Mr. Crow, along with Mr. Tuttle, will make the presentation.
Mr. President, members of the board, Mr. Miller and Mr. Wilson, it gives me great pleasure to be here this evening to recognize the accomplishments of our Career Tech students. Would Mrs. Melinda O'Connor, our Computer Information Systems instructor, and Mr. Ken Stopik, our Information Technology Services instructor, join me at this time? A little bit of background before we introduce our students. Our students compete in Career Tech in what's known as CTSOs, Career Technical Student Organizations. These provide students with another opportunity to connect to the content in a fun and meaningful way through competitions, and it also provides leadership opportunities. The group of students we are recognizing tonight participated in the Skills USA CTSO. Now, I have seen multiple state champions and national finalists in my tenure at Mentor, but I do not believe I've ever seen a national champion. Well, that changes tonight. You know, our team was the gold medal first place winner at the national competition in the Career Pathways Showcase for Business and IT. Students advanced from a local competition to a state competition and then to a national competition where again they won first place. So at this time, I'd like to introduce you to our national champions, and I'm going to ask their teachers just to say a few quick words about the students and their experience. So our first student, and only one that was able to make it tonight, Mr. Daniel Ingram, Computer Information Systems. Okay. And then we had two other students that weren't able to join us this evening. That's Dylan Wiley from Information Technology Services and Brandon Sukes from Information Technology Services.
Thank you, members of the board. Many of you have served as judges to get this team all the way to nationals in gold, so thank you. Danny had the privilege of working with COTSWorks throughout his project, where he started out as an internship during his senior year. Danny studied computer software in the program, which was a nice blend between what was going on at COTSWorks versus what his project turned out to be, which was creating a, what do we call this, a conference room of the future here. Everything was automated, a beautiful software application. I'm proud to say that Danny's a current student at Cleveland State University, and where, let's see, Danny spent many hours in the ITS room with his other team members, because you get the software training in my room, but you get the hardware training in Mr. Stopek's room.
I'd like to thank the opportunity that COTSWorks gave our students to proceed to this national competition, and they performed excellently. Danny was an excellent team lead. My two students, Dylan and Brandon, had a hard time keeping up with them. But between COTSWorks, Danny, and the two of them, they brought home a national championship.
If I can just say, having seen that presentation, you would never know they were high school students. The product that they were presenting and the polished presentation that they made would blend right into the real world. So congratulations. So glad you were recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Crow. Next, we will recognize our Mentor High School students who have received a perfect score on the ACT College Admission and Placement Exam. Mr. Wade will make the presentation.
Mr. President, members of the board, Mr. Miller, and Mr. Wilson, it is my pleasure to recognize Logan Leak and Vishnu Nastala. If you join me up here in the front, please. These two amazing young men both scored perfect scores on the ACT, and just so the people realize how rare it is, the likelihood of doing so is less than 1/10 of 1%. So these students are some of the elite students, not only in the building but across the country. So we're very proud to have two students who have so aced the ACT so far this school year. So congratulations to Vishnu and Logan.
Well done. Congratulations. Well done.
Mr. President, members of the board, Mr. Miller, and Mr. Wilson, I'm also here tonight to recognize our National Merit Scholarship Program students. It is an academic competition for recognition and scholarship that began in 1955. High school students entered the National Merit Program by taking the PSAT National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test, a test which serves the initial screen of approximately over 1.5 million students. Of the 1.5 million entrants, some 50,000 with the highest PSAT selection index scores qualify for recognition in the National Merit Scholarship Program. The high-scoring participants from every state are invited to name 2 colleges or universities to which they like to be referred to by the National Merit Scholarship Committee. In September, these high scorers are notified through their schools that they have qualified as either a commended student or semifinalist. The top 50,000 students, based on their index scores, qualify for recognition in the National Merit Scholarship Program. This past fall, approximately 16,000 students, or about 1/3 of the 50,000 high scorers, are notified that they have qualified as semifinalists. The remaining 34,000 students are recognized as commended students. Though our commended students do not continue on in the National Merit Competition, they can become candidates for special scholarships sponsored by corporations and businesses. To be considered for a National Merit Scholarship, semifinalists must advance to the finalist standing in the competition by meeting high academic standards and all other requirements explained in the information provided to the semifinalists. We were very excited tonight because in my time, I think you could add up all the students together, and I don't think we have as many students that we're able to recognize tonight. And on behalf of the high school and the students and staff, I'd like to thank the Board of Education and Mr. Miller for giving our students the opportunity last year to be the first year that we had all of our junior students take the PSAT test. And I think that had something to do with, besides the outstanding young men and women that are here with us tonight, I don't want to discredit all the hard work that they've done, but I think giving them the opportunity to take it during the school day assisted in these students performing so well. So, and we're excited to say that tomorrow, again, is our PSAT testing. These students will not have to take that test, so I'm sure they'll be studying for other things. I know some of them I'll be letting in the building on Friday because they're in a class that, even though we don't have school, that they do. But, you know, these are our top students, and so we're excited to recognize them tonight. So I would start with the recognition of the commended students. So when I call your name, if you come up front, Brandon Armeo. Ivan Dorsey. Yeah, if you just shake the board members' hands and line up, by Mr. Ghislaine, that would help. There's quite a few of you, so it could take a little bit of time here. Where was I at? Sarah Hester, please. William Klein. Omar Mansour. Andrew Moldovan. Robert Seaton Todd. Ashley Sindelar. Joe Tarkovsky. And I did accidentally, I lost my spot. I apologize. Joseph Finnegan. We are also proud to recognize our 5 National Merit semifinalists. Sachi Carson. Logan Leak. Congratulations. Raghav Malik. Vishnu Nastala.
Congratulations.
And last but not least, Rushan Patel. We would like to wish these students luck as they complete the application process to be selected for the National Merit Finalists and look forward to seeing them back here in the spring. Congratulations, everybody.
Kids first.
I'll say something. Thank you, Mr. Wade. I do want to mention a couple things. We have a lot going on in the district tonight, so I know some of the kids that could not be here are committed elsewhere. At this time, really quick for the students, and it might be a good photo op for the parents too if you wish to, Miss Kirby right here is going to take you to the Cardinal Room to do a group shot for the commended students and for our national award student as well. So if you just follow her, and if any of the parents want to get a quick picture too with the group, that might be the time to do so.
You had me on there for the PTA too?
Yes, you're back on.
Maybe I should put my name tag in.
Jen. Mr. President and members of the board, every year we get to recognize our PTA presidents, and they're already making noise. I can hear them excited over there. We know the importance of great parent involvement, and every year I say this, but it's true. Our PTA and mentor is special because we have a very active, very involved PTA, and I say this too, and I'm not sure who believes me or not, it's not like this everywhere. And I mean that in a very positive way. When we talk about a lot of the initiatives that we do in Mentor and what we roll out with curriculum, what we roll out in terms of student safety, in terms of other community-wide event, you all are our sounding board for and feedback for the things that we think are in our kids' best interest, and you provide great insight and direction. So I really, really appreciate you doing that, and we want to recognize you tonight, and then we'll have a special presentation after that. So I'm just going to do it this way. If you're a PTA president and or if you're here on behalf of Rice tonight, if you just stand up and come this way, that would be probably the easiest thing for all of us and all of you. They're on a separate. So I'm just going to ask you to come up to the podium, introduce yourself, what school you represent, and if you could tell us your children and what schools they go to, in case it's not just the school you're representing on behalf of the PTA, and anything else you want to say, that would be great. So we'll see a brave soul going first.
You know what? Then I can get it over with.
Right. So we're going to start with Mrs. Pugh. Really easy. Name, building, students. Oh, you have something written out.
You guys have something written up for us.
Oh, that's okay.
See?
That's good.
All right, well, first of all, I am Mickey Pugh, and I'm from Shore Middle School. I'm the PTSA president, and I want to apologize for my look. I just came from a soccer game, so I apologize. Everybody else looks so nice. This is my soccer gear. Anyway, I have 3 children and a senior, a sophomore, and a 7th grader. And Mr. Baker, I don't believe is here, but he is one of our great principals in the district. And may I add that our 2 ACT top scorers came from Shore, so I'm sorry, I had to add that. And many of the semifinalists and commended scholars are from Shore also. Let's see, and I've been involved in PTA for 12 years.
Okay. Hi. Hi. My name is Jennifer Seach, and I'm the co-president at Lake Elementary. Principal Mrs. Paramba is hiding in the way back. I have 4 kids. There's 1 in 10th grade at the high school, 1 in 8th at Shore, 2 at Lake, 5th grade and kindergarten. And I've had at least 1 kid at Lake every year for the last 12 years. So 12 years I've been in PTA.
Great.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Taryn Winnie. I am the president over at Orchard Hollow. I have a 3rd grader and a preschooler. This is my 2nd year as PTA president. It's much smoother this year. A lot of that, though, is due to our wonderful, dedicated families we have at Orchard and my supportive
principal, Karen Trunk. She's wonderful. I myself went to Mentor schools all through my schooling, so it's very exciting to be raising cardinals. So that's all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michelle Godak. Tara's still on the stage. I'm Michelle Godak. I'm the president of Brentmore Elementary. My school principal is here. Her name is Pam Hutto somewhere. She's hiding. There she is. She moved on me. I have a first grader and a preschooler. And the first week of school, my first grader was supposed to do homework, what her favorite thing about school was. And her favorite thing was Miss Hutto and her teacher. And she did not want the teacher she got. She really had it focused. And so she just loves school. So we're so excited that we're there. I've been involved in PTA for 2 years now, and I'm the president. So yay, go Brentmore. I'm sure I'll be seeing you all around.
Good evening. My name is Justine Gumbelson. I'm at Sterling Morton Elementary. This is my 3rd year as PTA president. I have a 5th grader and a 3rd grader and a 1-year-old at home. So I've been involved for about 6 years now with PTA, and I really, really love it. We have a new principal this year. I don't see her here tonight, but she is doing, yeah, I know I'm tomorrow. I scheduled wisely. She's doing such wonderful things at our school, such positive reinforcement for the kids. They love it. And I'm very excited to have her in our building. It's been great.
And Justin, you brought your 1-year-old to a PTA meeting when the 1-year-old was how old?
5 days old.
Did you hear that?
Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Kelly Balin. I am the president at Fairfax Elementary. It is my first year as president there. I have a 3rd grader there and a sophomore at the high school, as well as a almost 3-year-old and my future card. And I will not be bringing her to any meetings within like the first. I will be desperate, but I'm also the county president for all of the PTAs in Lake County for my 3rd year, so thank you.
Hi, I'm Debbie Cole. I'm Memorial Middle School PTA president. It's my first year. I have a 7th and 8th grader at Memorial, both boys. Yay me. We have the best principal, Mr. Dunziak, who isn't here because I know he's out at some sporting event because he's always at every sporting event that we have. And our partnership this year is fabulous. We have a new vice principal, Mr. Hornacki, who is absolutely fabulous also. And we are selling pies for our fundraiser. So on the Memorial website, on the PTA webpage, we are selling Baker Square cards. And what it is a gift card. $13 for one, $4 for $50, and they're good for 2 years. So you don't need freezer space, great token gifts. And we are in competition with Shore and Ridge, and we are going to win this year. So thank you for letting me take this opportunity just to push that a little bit. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kristen McNona. I'm the PTA president at Hopkins Elementary. It's my first year in that role. I have a 3rd grader and a 1st grader, and I really got involved in PTA last year when my 1st grader came to school as a kindergartner. Our principal, Chris Miley, is here. We work very well together, and hopefully by the end of the night I will be an aunt for the first time. My sister-in-law is having her baby today.
Hi, good evening. My name's David Plumley. Kind of standing out tonight. I feel like I don't have any baby stories to tell. I'm the principal at Garfield Elementary School, and I'm happy to have Mr. Kameniki with us. He's right behind me here. We're so much very appreciative of him being here with us. I've been involved in PTA for 3 years. I have a 1st grader and a 3rd grader. And yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Teresa Ackerman. This is my second year as the PTSA president for Mentor High School. And my principal is Mr. Wade. I'm glad you're here. I have two children. Ariel, she's a junior. Alex is a senior. I've been involved with PTA, PTSA for 13 years. I also wanted to say that this past weekend, the Mentor High School PTSA sponsored the homecoming dance, and our theme was Sweet Moments. Members of the Mentor Sparkles cheerleading program, Leah Saitkowski, Kaylin Korse, and Jennifer Blair, helped make the homecoming dance a night to remember for seven students with disabilities. I want to applaud these young women for their efforts. Needless to say, the dance was a success and we had a record turnout. I would also like to thank Val Gasper from Slice Pizzeria for providing a free pizza coupon to every student who attended the dance, and we had well over 1,200 kids there. The success of this dance would not have been possible without the PTSA parent volunteers, Mentor High School staff, teachers, and custodians. I would also like to give a big shout out to Mr. Wade for his continued support of the Mentor High School PTSA. We could not have done this without you. Thank you.
Hello, I am Courtney Kessler, and I am the PTA president at Bellflower. This is my second year. Are you ready to do our duet? I'm ready. Okay, come on. No, just joking. We didn't have time to practice. It's been a busy week. I have two kids, a second grader and a kindergartner, and if you're not doing anything next Friday, we're having our trunk or treat in the parking lot. Come and trick or treat. It'll be fun. That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, thank you.
You're going to do Ridge first?
Sure, we'll do Ridge first, but she stole the cheat sheet. No, I'm good. My name's Julie Johnson, and I am not the president at Ridge. I am the secretary. Our president is running our PTA meeting, which is also where our principal is. And I have two students there, a sixth grader and an eighth grader. In reference to the whole pie competition, we are also selling them, and we have to win this year because we have a new principal and a new vice principal, and it would be horrible to have Miss Blackburn get a pie in the face her very first year. That would just be mean. So, wow, I know where you're from. So we want to not have to give her a pie in the face because we really love her. She's amazing. So she's been a great friend to the PTA.
Lemon meringue pie. Anyway.
Oh, I have cards for you. I can sell you a card for lemon meringue.
Cards in my purse.
I have one in my pocket.
Lemon meringue? I'll take one of each.
All right. We can give you a 4-pack for $50.
I can't eat four in one
You can
night.
give them away. They make great Christmas presents. You're welcome.
Oh,
I can take Sandy's with me.
Sandy's.
Yes, and our president is Sandy. I can never pronounce her name. Gokirka, and she's wonderful, by the way. So kudos to Sandy.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, we are going to have a special presentation from the Rice Elementary School PTA. They are going to donate a scholarship for Rice students, and I'm going to let Julie Johnsman do the presentation, and we'll go from there. I know, that's you need to take off your jacket.
Okay. And now I'm Julie Johnson, formerly of the Rice PTA. We are here tonight to present actually not one but two checks for the Dale R. Rice Memorial Scholarship Fund. Before I do that, I just wanted to thank a couple people who were very vital to making this happen. One is Mr. Tom Wolak. He was our scholarship chair for, I believe it was 5 years. I could be wrong, but I think it's 5. So he ran the scholarships, he put out the applications, he did help with the screening process to get the applicants in, awarded the scholarships, the whole 9 yards. He did all of that. And he had a partner last year, and that was Mr. Skip Gray, who was also very, very big help for that. John Morris was our treasurer last year, and he did a lot of legwork. He kept the money coming in. He kept us on budget last year so we could put everything we had into it. When we found out we were closing last January, we decided as a PTA that everything we had left at the end of the year was going to go into a scholarship fund because we had been doing a scholarship for so many years, and we wanted to make sure that could keep going. And what we hope we have here is enough money so that our kindergartners from last year will still be eligible when they are seniors in high school to apply for our scholarship. That was our goal. We were a big family school. We also, our student council participated, thank you, in raising money for us. So I want to thank Miss Kelly Berger and Mrs. Kylene Hopp, who is over there. You have to wave at the people because you wouldn't stand for me. And they donated a check also for us, and that is here. We were a family school. We were a great family community, and we were really happy to do this. So on behalf, oh, and I want to introduce who's up here with me, since you're standing here. This is Jamie Alessi. She is a former treasurer also of Rice PTA. Michelle Morris, I don't know that you held an actual titled position, but she came, I was going to say, but she was our most faithful attendee. She is married to our former treasurer, so she had to put up with him at home, and she came to every meeting, and she's also a teacher at the high school. So she's very busy. On behalf of the Rice PTA and the Student Council, I would like to present one check from Student Council for $542. And a second check for $10,965.47, which is a grand total of $11,507.47. Thank you very much. We're very happy. Thank you very much. And I did forget to mention, thank you, Mr. Wilson, for all of your help with setting up our fund. We appreciate it.
Thank you, ladies. Now or later? Okay. Kristen would like to get a picture of the Rice PTA people and all the PTA presidents, so she can do that now if you want to head that way. All right, at this time, Mr. President, members of the board, I've asked Mr. Porter to give a report on ALICE training in our school district.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Mr. Miller and Mr. Wilson. I want to take a few minutes this evening to update you on our district's implementation of ALICE, a new safety program we have adopted. ALICE is an acronym that stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. Under our previous protocols, for an intruder or for an active shooter in a building, we have been primarily limited to a lockdown that consisted of locking the classroom door, moving students out of view, and remaining quiet until a clear signal was given. The ALICE plan offers a different philosophy in light of extensive research from the past 2 decades. If a school encounters a dangerous person, staff members have been trained to consider viable and well-documented options, depending on what is needed. A lockdown is still an option, but staff members are also able to evacuate with students or even counter in the event of a dangerous situation. ALICE emphasizes using whatever technology or information is available for staff and students to make informed decisions and take meaningful actions in a crisis. The ultimate goal in a dangerous situation is to remove as many people as possible from the danger zone for the sake of survival. Our plan is for the ALICE program to be implemented throughout the school at all levels this year. There will be age-appropriate discussions and drills conducted at all schools that will begin to provide students basic strategies. Our implementation of ALICE coincides well with new legislative requirements. Ohio House Bill 178, which requires schools to run 3 annual safety drills with students where it was 1 drill previously, in addition to a theoretical practice drill. The new requirement can be met and exceeded with the implementation and practice of these ALICE techniques. The ALICE training of our employees in the district is underway already. 12 staff members were trained over the summer and are now actually certified ALICE instructors. Our entire certified staff was trained in August. All of our classified staff members will be trained in an in-service in November. The employees throughout the district will know and be able to apply the ALICE strategies as we continue to introduce the concept to our students. The first discussions and drills will begin in the next week or two. Topics of discussion and practice will include the importance of following directions when ALICE is in effect, options that may exist for removing ourselves from danger, and evacuation strategies and relocation points. Staff and students will not leave school property during the upcoming drills, but will be informed on that plan should a realistic situation ever be in effect. Again, the discussions and drills will be age appropriate as we want to prepare students without overly alarming them. We are also making the Mentor and Mentor on the Lake police departments aware of all dates and times of our drills, and they are planning to observe some of these in order to offer feedback and suggestions. We will be sending home a letter to parents later this week by mail that will highlight this information I've been sharing. It will also include tips for parents so they may reinforce many of the ALICE principles at the home end. A letter will be shared tomorrow with our certified and classified staffs so they are also aware of what information will be mailed home to parents. The ALICE program is endorsed by the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, the National Chiefs of Police, the Ohio Attorney General, the National School Board Association, FEMA, and the United States Department of Education, and many more. This is considered the new standard of care and response in the event of a dangerous individual in a school. This is the care we must provide to maximize safety and security for students and staff in Mentor. Questions?
No question. I'd just like to say it's a great step forward. Sounds like an awesome program. Child safety, staff safety, very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
I'd like to see the training that we're giving out to the different levels.
I will be happy to invite you to some of the upcoming trainings, and we also have a video of a past training, so
Thank
we'll make
you.
that available to you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Can you just mention how we talked about it with PTA presidents?
We did. We, at one of the PTA presidents' meetings recently, we spoke about ALICE in terms of the rollout. And even as far ago as long ago as last spring, at another PTA presidents' meeting, we had some of our administrators present to the PTA presidents because it was important to us to have that president, PTA president support in order for us to move forward with that. The support, I would have to say, Mr. Miller, you can vouch for this too, it was unanimous in the room, and they spoke very, very strongly in favor of it. We're glad to have their backing, absolutely.
I just think it gives us options for our kids.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. At this time, Mr. President, members of the board, I've asked Mrs. Skolsky to present her summer permanent improvement report.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Mr. Miller, and Mr. Wilson. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you the improvements that were made to our facilities this summer. These improvements support our strategic plan to maximize the capacity, effectiveness, and efficiency of all of our current and future resources, and to provide a safe and secure environment in which students can grow academically and socially. At Mentor High School, our straight A grant projects were finished, including the classroom renovation project and lecture hall renovation project. At Memorial Middle School, the office carpet was replaced and a rooftop unit was replaced. The main entrance doors, exterior doors, were replaced at Ridge Middle School. At Shore Middle School, drop ceiling was installed on the first floor, and the restroom partitions in the boys' first floor restroom were replaced. 2 rooftop units were replaced at Bellflower Elementary, and at Brentmore Elementary, the clock system was replaced. The original single-pane exterior windows were replaced with energy-efficient double-pane windows at Fairfax Elementary. At Garfield Elementary, 3 pieces of playground equipment were replaced with new equipment.
Our maintenance staff replaced the gym lights at Hopkins Elementary and Lake Elementary this summer with more energy efficient lights, making these spaces much brighter for our students and our staff. At Hopkins Elementary, the carpet was replaced in the media center. The gym floor tile was replaced at Sterling Morton Elementary, and classroom furniture was replaced at Orchard Hollow Elementary, Memorial Middle School, and Shore Middle School to continue to support our blended learning initiatives. I would like to take a minute to recognize the efforts of our custodians, our groundskeepers, material handlers, and our maintenance staff who worked so hard this summer to prepare our facilities for the new school year. The number of projects that were completed, boxes and equipment that were moved, and the amount of cleaning that was accomplished was remarkable. The accomplishments that were made this summer would not have happened without these individuals. I really appreciate all of their hard work and their dedication to the district. Thank you. Any questions?
When you look at the stacks of boxes and furniture that those all had to be assembled, it is a remarkable tribute to the teams of custodians and all of the allied personnel who make that happen. And a shout out to our students who helped unload trucks and so
Absolutely.
on. So I know some of the coaches, I think, were instrumental in making that part of the warm-up and workout for the day.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And
Thank
Jen,
you.
I can't let you move away until I compliment you. Once again, in a very short amount of time, your accomplishments, the list of your accomplishments are tremendous. Well, I would also like to add that I came in contact with one of our contractors, and he mentioned your name, very complimentary. This was work a year ago that he had done. I don't know if he contracted this year, but he's one of your paving companies. Very nice person. I was working with him on a job where I work, and he said, oh, yeah, Mentor Schools, Jen Skulski. He went on. And then another time, this past summer, I was in downtown Paynesville for a party in the park, and a retired maintenance worker was so proud to be retired from the Mentor Schools, and he felt the management of the department from you on down, he was very pleased. He stopped me. I mean, this is tremendous. It almost makes me feel like a proud parent, but I know I'm not a parent of anyone here, but to have someone come up and tell me of that is tremendous. There's others too, but those are people that walk up to me. So thank you.
We're fortunate. We
Well
have an
done once
outstanding
again.
team of individuals that work so well together.
I think it's a tribute to everyone here also as well.
Our staff at the buildings have done such a nice job. Thank you.
Just real quick, on top of everything that we usually do, I mean, with Paradigm and
Yes.
all the straight A stuff, so this was on top of everything, so well done. Thank you. Mr. President and members of the board, I am recommending approval of the agreement between the Mentor Board of Education and the Mentor Teachers Association for the 2015-2017 contract.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments, members? Please call the roll, Mr. Wilson.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. President and members of the board, I'm recommending approval of agenda items C1 related to certified personnel and C2 through C4, all related to human resource matters.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll, Mr. Wilson.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Thank you. That concludes my part of tonight's agenda.
If I may help with this, I would like to distribute a substitute resolution with one minor adjustment that's in red in the very first whereas clause to include a portion of parcel 16-C-084-0-00-006-0 to the other two parcels. This resolution authorizes us to proceed with petitioning the City Planning Commission, City Council, and ultimately the voters of the City of Mentor to rezone a corner of our property for the hoped-for development of a health and wellness center to be located on the campus. And this will allow us to meet a very tight timeline to submit the question to the March ballot, assuming, again, approval of council upon recommendation of the Planning Commission.
Motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions, comments? Please call the roll, Mr. Wilson.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes. Next on the agenda, legislative report. Just a few bullets there that I've provided on subjects that are in process to committees. I did want to read just one there, well, two. House Bill number 2, bill about charter school accountability. This bill was waiting for the House to consider the Senate's amendment. It has proceeded to that point. It's not been finalized as yet, but it's moving forward. It sounds really good that the accountability is going to be increased. There's been some significant changes in the hierarchy of the charter school review board, I believe it was. And then House Bill 146. I've had this question raised to me a number of times. And so now Grossman from Grove City and Brenner and Republican Powell has introduced House Bill 146 requiring districts to provide instruction in cursive handwriting. This bill is pending in the House House Education Committee. So I just wanted to point out those two, because cursive writings, I couldn't count them all. My hands, I don't have enough fingers, the number of people over my time. What has happened to cursive writing? So I'm not pro or con, I'm just saying, someone else has taken that up in Columbus, so.
We still have it.
Yeah. Okay.
We're still going to have it.
Good, good. Well, there's some schools that don't, so. Go ahead. Next on the agenda,
Yes, I
Mr. Wilson.
present for approval the financial statements for the month of September 2015.
So moved.
Second.
And
Please
I
call
would,
the roll. Comments?
Just comment, it's a relatively normal performance through the first 3 months of the fiscal year. We did receive our homestead and rollback a month early, so a positive variance in revenue. Otherwise, we're tracking as expected at this point in the year.
Thank you. Please call the roll, Mr. Wilson.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Oh, Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
And it's recommended the Board of Education ratify the investment portfolio listed in Exhibit 7-B.
So moved. Second.
Please call the roll, Ms. Wilson.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
And we have no transfers or advances to request tonight, so I would request approval of appropriation modifications as listed in Exhibit 7-D.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll, Mr. Wilson.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
And it's recommended the Board of Education approve the supplemental appropriations as presented in Exhibit 7-E with one correction. We did discover a typographical error on the straight A grant supplemental, which was distributed with coding for changes to the elementary salary and budgets, and it should have been coded to the middle school salary and benefit budget. So we have corrected that for the formal action and do note that one change.
So moved.
Second.
Jeannie. Please call the roll, Mr. Wilson.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
And It's recommended the student activity purpose, goals, and budgets as presented in Exhibit 7-F be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
And it's recommended the Board of Education approve the 2 invoices listed in Exhibit 7-G for payment.
So moved. Second.
Please call the roll. Mr. Wilson?
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
And that completes my items.
Under new business, schedule a special meeting date to adopt the 2015-2016 through 2019-2020 fiscal projections.
I'd like to request consideration for Wednesday, the 28th, if either on your way to work in the morning or after work is possible.
I'm good all day.
Is that the Wednesday before Thanksgiving or not?
No, this is still
10/28.
October.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm good, all day.
That's fine.
October 28th?
Yes, prefer morning. The only agenda item will be presentation of fiscal projections, anticipated to be less than a half-hour meeting. Unless you're really excited, and I can go on for a half day on the projections
I
if you'd
told you I'm
like.
clear all day, but
Let's keep it in the morning then.
I'm sure we all have other things.
All right.
to
Bill
do.
is the one that sometimes has a conflict. so
Somebody want to
check that
propose a
out.
time? Time you working that day?
7:30?
fine.
Okay.
Awfully early for those of us that are off. but
Or
that's
8
I
o'clock.
like
Fine.
5 better myself,
8
but I,
o'clock?
5 a.m.?
if somebody,
Come on, you know her better than that.
Is 8 too
Oh, and
late?
then the meeting will take about 2 seconds
Is 8
because
too
I
late?
won't be awake.
Is 8 okay?
8.
We have a proposal at 8 o'clock.
Sally,
7:30,
Hey,
whatever.
the only thing is, I said Bill's the one that usually has a conflict with the morning
Okay.
meetings. 7:30 might be, I don't know, but
That's
none of
true.
us,
how about
except
5
for you,
p.m.?
Tom, work.
You
All
like
right,
5
well,
p.m.?
confirm 7:30 then.
I mean, you would be good.
We have a proposal of a PM over here.
Yeah, any
He'd hope
PM
to be,
time you
right?
like. Well,
7:30 then?
7:30,
a.m.
October
10.
28th,
AM's
for the
win.
purpose of
It's killing me.
I know, I'd like
adopting
to
the
get early on my day off
updated
either.
fiscal projections.
That's all right.
I do have one other new business item, please. I had corresponded with the board that, as you know, annually, one of the 7 trustees for the Mentor Public Library's term expires, and it's the responsibility of our Board of Education to appoint trustees. We appointed Sonia Meyer.
Meyer.
to re-
Meyer.
Meyer, thank you.
Yes.
To replace Jamie Callender in 2011 for the balance of his term, which expires the end of this calendar year. She has expressed an interest in continuing as a trustee and has asked to be considered for reappointment to a full 7-year term. The Board of Education has the opportunity to accept that request or to go through a process of advertising the opportunity, inviting applications, and interviewing folks. We've done it both ways. Generally, the history's been if a trustee has been a good attendee and fulfilled their role at the library and requests continuation, the board's generally look favorably upon that. So if you want to do that, we'll place an item on the agenda in November to ensure she's in place for their organizational meeting in January. If you would like to go through the process, we'll begin the process that the board developed a number of years ago. So I ask for guidance.
If no one else objects, I serve on another board with Mrs. Meyer. It seems that the library board seems to be functioning pretty smoothly. I'm all in favor of keeping her if there's an interest for another term.
I
on her
agree,
behalf.
100%.
I agree also.
Mrs. Meyer is a
Consensus.
wonderful
Sounds wonderful.
addition to any
Yeah.
I
discussion.
apologize for mispronouncing her name. please.
No,
Not
that's
a
okay.
problem. I think
It's
she's an
not
asset
easy.
to the library
Okay.
board.
Read it,
Absolutely.
which way to pronounce it.
All right, thank you.
Sonia was right.
Thank you.
So, okay.
I have one other new business item, more of an informational item. On Tuesday, October 27th, at the Fine Arts Center, we are going to be showing a movie called Most Likely to Succeed. And it's really picking up a lot of momentum across the country. But it's talking about the generation of kids that we've raised for the past probably 2 or 3 generations now as being test takers, and getting away from that, and opportunities that we have, and probably a duty that we have for our kids. So it's a community-wide, not just mentor schools, but we're inviting other schools and parents and students, quite frankly, to the showing. So it's 6:30. We're going to put some press releases out and media and information out about it starting this week up until the event. But again, it's Tuesday, October 27th. It'll be at 6:30 p.m. at the Fine Arts Center. And in conjunction with that, we also have Alan November coming back to our district, who was here for our kickoff with our teachers and had very positive response. And Cindy just said he was great. I saw that. And he's coming back to be a part of that showing and have a conversation after the movie as well. So I wanted to get that out as a preview of a coming attraction.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Very exciting.
Hearing of the public? We'll give you more than 3 minutes.
Okay, thanks. So, Mr. President, members of the board, Mr. Miller, Mr. Wilson, I'm Cindy Langolier. I am the president of Mentor Teachers Association. First, I want to give a shout out to PTA presidents. Before I was a teacher, I was a PTA president for a long time. I was not elected to the presidency. I assumed the presidency of the Teachers Association a little over a year ago. I really didn't know what I was getting into, but I learned on the job. And one of my focuses was, or our focus as an exec board was on really working to build the relationships between the faculty and the administration, and also between our own members. And that was going pretty good. And then we got to negotiations. They weren't bad, but again, I didn't really know what to expect. They were way more time consuming than I thought they were going to be. We had the one night, we were there till what, 1:30 in the morning? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was hard. It was a test of patience. It was a test of will sometimes. We didn't always agree. There were occasions it was adversarial, but not aggressively so. I learned a lot. I think we all learned a lot. The nice thing was we were able to work through our differences. You know, we had some bumps in the road, but we worked through them. And I think part of what did that was both teams had the common goal of what was best for the school district. Even keeping our own interests in mind and our own goals in mind, the bigger goal was how can we make this work for the district and the kids. So we were able to work through some of the difficulties that we've had on and off throughout this long set of negotiations. And we were able to develop a pretty collaborative, I think, relationship, especially in the second set of negotiations. We were able to work almost more as one team and figure out how to get it to work for everybody. And I thought that was a really good thing. We were able to reach a successful agreement. And I'm really looking forward to continuing to work with these teams and developing that relationship and making it even better so that next time negotiations will go faster. So thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. I really... Thank you for the work that you've done and for the leadership that you've shown to the district, not just MTA, but just the dialogue and the relationship building for both groups. And like you said, you know, we all have a common goal. So thank you for all your heavy lifting.
I too really appreciate the collaborative spirit in accomplishing that spirit of cooperation and compromise, and I'm very grateful for all the people's efforts and the amount of time that it took is in addition to your day job, you know, and that's true for the negotiating team on both sides, that you still have all those other duties. So thank you to everybody.
That's it. We'll be going into executive session. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We will be returning, but there'll be no vote either. there or here.
The
so.
purpose of the session, in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code, is to discuss the potential sale of school district property at competitive bidding.
Like I said, there'll be no vote. You're more than welcome to wait till we come back.
Or leave.
Or leave.
Yeah, we'll out.
Roll call.
Oh, roll call.